Imagine a painting that doesn't just show a scene, but captures the feeling the colors communicates to you, each brushstrokes carrying the weight of a moment. You're no longer just a viewer. You're drawn into the sensation of standing by the misty pond at dawn, watching the sunlight drift slowly while dimming across a field of nature. This is the magic of Claude Monet. He didn't just paint landscapes. He painted the experience of being there, in that exact moment, suspended in time. My name is Jie, and in this video I will be introducing you to the world of Monet, the visionary artist, with the art movement of Impressionism, so we will be starting with the overview of the artist. And before we begin, here's a roadmap that we will be going through. We'll be talking about his backgrounds, life stories, clients, careers, achievements, innovation, and his contribution to history. So for his background, Claude Monet was born on November 14, 1840, in Paris, France, and he passed away on December 5, 1926, in Givigny. Monet's family moved to Normandy coast when he was young. Spending his childhood near the sea gave him a lifelong fascination with nature, especially the changing effects of light and color. At age 15, he started selling caricatures and soon began studying art formally. His career as a painter was truly set when he met Eugene Boudin, who taught him the technique of painting outdoors, or en plein air, which was revolutionary at the time. Next, his achievements. His notable achievements include creating the iconic Water Lilies series, which features over 250 paintings that depicts the beauty of his garden at Givigny. Aside from that, being the innovator of Impressionist painting significantly influenced modern art. For example, his techniques inspired future Impressionists and post-Impressionists such as Vincent van Gogh. Now let's look at Claude Monet's painting. We'll start with the Water Lily Pond, painted in 1899. This art piece uses bright and warm colors to convey a sense of nature, creating an inviting atmosphere. The theme of the art seems to be focusing on inner peace and the artist's unique perspective of his garden. The bridge is depicted in cooler neutral tones, which contrast with the warm, vibrant colors of the surrounding environment. The background features gold, bright pinks, blues, yellows, greens, and white, which invokes a lively and cheerful vibe. This bridge, with its more subdued colors, helps balance the composition and prevents the artwork from feeling chaotic. The artist intentionally leaves spaces that creates a path from the foreground to the background, which will be explained later in the end. Now we can see that the dark skies or the forest behind seems to be adding depth and value, as it contrasts sharply with the bright elements in the foreground as well as the bridge. Beneath the bridge, we can see some shadows and reflections in the water, which further contributes to a sense of depth. The water's dark tones reflect its depth and distance, emphasizing the spatial dynamics of the piece. Now let's consider the rule of thirds. While this painting doesn't strictly adhere to the rule, we can see that the center is more detailed compared to the top and bottom. These areas are considered more dull compared to the center, which can be seen from the brighter colors, which enhances focus, demonstrating a subtle application of the rule of thirds. In terms of the piece's scale and how it guides the viewer's eyes, you can see from the larger leaves and flowers in the foreground, which has some sort of shape, and gradually diminishing in size, turning into dots, which creates a sense of depth as they recede to the background. The bridge is positioned in a way that is seemingly at the center. They use the grass at the far left and right to show that the bridge is not at the far front, nor at the very back. It is positioned in a way that is seemingly at the center. Lastly, Going back to when I said the artist leaves space to create path from the foreground to the background, we can see that the artwork uses those space to guide the user slowly towards the back of the painting. In this case, it is the dark forest or the sky. Now, the media that they use to paint the water lily pond is with oil on canvas. Our last artwork that we'll be looking into is Woman with Parasol, Madame Monet and Her Son, painted in 1875. The story behind this painting is that Monet initially focused on landscapes after 1860s, but returned to figure painting in 1880s, motivated by his desires to depict beach scenes with nude bathers. However, his wife Camille was less enthusiastic about this idea, leading him to create works featuring her and her son Jean instead. Woman with a Parasol, Madame Monet and Her Son was painted outdoors, likely in a single session, and aims to convey a casual family outing rather than a formal portrait. Monet uses a low viewpoint to enhance Camille's presence, making her appear iconic as she fills up the upper canvas. The wind adds movement to her skirts, while the small figures of Jean balance the composition, grounding the scene in their family context. Similarly to the water lily pond, this artwork uses mostly greens and blues and warm colors. The use of blues and greens contrast with the sky and the ground to show the differences. The shadow creates a sense of distance, indicating that Camille and Jean are positioned at a different depths in the composition. Monet's loosely painted skies adds fluidity, while he emphasized Camille's flowing dress by capturing the light reflecting off the fabric. The brushstrokes convey the wind's movements, creating a lively atmosphere that guides the viewer's eyes. The dark border of the sky, paired with the less detailed face for Camille, centers the viewer's focus on her presence in the moment. Now, the vibrant palettes of yellow, blues, greens, and whites symbolize nature and happiness, with the yellow flowers reflecting tones of joyful vibes. The parasol cast a shadow on Camille's face, introducing a hint of mystery. As for the child beside Camille, his face is painted in light pink, which conveys innocence. Using an oil on canvas, Monet captures a balanced composition with just a few colors: blue, white, green, preventing chaos and creating harmony throughout the piece. We can see a composition being used of scale by comparing the sizes of Camille and Jean's to determine their distance. To summarize what I've learned, Claude Monet paints in the moment, capturing his feelings about the scene and the world around him. Impressionism emphasizes the impression of a work rather than intricate details. It's about using colors to convey a story instead of focusing on precise representations. Monet employs brushstrokes, colors, lights, shadows, and overall composition to create themes that resonate with viewers. His art doesn't require meticulous planning. It's based on feelings and observations of what he sees. From the two artworks, we can see that Monet enjoys using vibrant colors to draw focus, while darker tones invoke a sense of mystery in the background. He uses shadow to create depth and employs scale to give dimension to the elements, like the grass. The stories behind his works are profound, often focusing on what led to him painting rather than the reason for the final piece itself. Monet's style is free, using brushstrokes to depict movements. For example, in Woman with a Parasol, the wind influenced the way fabric moves. Depending on the color and brushworks, his art can evoke strong emotions. Water Lily Pond gives off a calming and peaceful vibes, while a woman with a parasol feels light-hearted and casual, as if depicting a joyful day. The placement of colors and the flow of the painting significantly contribute to the emotional experience conveyed to the viewer. I hope this video taught you more about Claude Monet and the art movement of Impressionism. Thank you.